So I'm going to demonstrate how to make some coils. You're going to get a piece of clay and I'm going to squish it into a cylinder, and then when I go to roll it, I'm wanting to roll it and then separate my hands. If I'm pushing it too hard, it's going to go thunk, 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 thunk. And I'm only using the palms of my hands. If I use the fingers, it's like a dead caterpillar. So when I roll it, I'm separating my hands. Rolling it and then pulling my hands apart, and it gets it a smaller size. If I'm pushing too hard on one side, it'll flatten out and it'll go thunk, 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 which is not what I'm wanting to do. So I'm wanting to keep the pressure fairly even, but not too hard, and then separating my hands as I'm pulling it out. I've set up a slab for the base of my coil pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of outline about where I'm going to have my base. Scratch the surface. And then I'm adding slip to get it to stick nicely. Okay. So then I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to add it. And I'm tracing the spot where my coil is going to go. Now when the coils overlap, where it's going to end, if I put them together, overlap them, and then cut them at the same time, I'll have a really nice seam. So then I'm going to tap it down. And that'll set the base of where my coil is going to go. When I add the next layer, I'm scratching the surface. I'm going to add some slip on the top. Then I'm going to add another coil. I tend to start and end them at different spots, otherwise you have a seam all the way up, and that's not what I'm wanting on this one. So I'm putting that second coil on, and I'm going to cut them at a diagonal, and then they attach really nice. So from here I'm wanting to blend the two layers together and get it to attach to the base really well. On this, I'm going to let my coils show. I'm going to leave the outside part, but I'm just going to smear the inside part. If I don't blend the two layers together, then they'll come apart when the clay shrinks. Okay, so then I'll just keep adding my layers, scratch the surface. Now let's say I want to create a cylinder here. So what I'll do is I scratch the surface. I'm going to take my coil and I can drape it right across to create a cylinder. And then I'll do the same there. I might want to add some spirals. The way I'll do a spiral, so I'll take my coil, spiral my coil, and then add my coil on there with my spiral. I'd like to do a whole bunch at a time, and then I'll have another layer.